Hello, John Fisher. Hope you're doing well. Back again for the next line of the Creed, which is about the Holy Spirit. I believe in the Holy Spirit. Again, our question is, so what? What difference does the Holy Spirit make? Before I get on to that, though, I'd like to confirm some important sports news that you may have heard. I'm not talking about Man City winning the league. No, I'm talking about the teachers at John Fisher who play football. As you may know, on a Friday afternoon after school, some teachers play football and they kindly invite me to join them, so I play with them. I'd just like to confirm, get it on the record, that in case you may have heard this already, you may not, that I actually scored a hat trick last Friday. So just want to confirm that that is true. Three pretty sweet goals, and yeah, those rumors are definitely true. So yeah, I'm obviously very chuffed, and I'm telling you this because it may never happen again. So for the record, Father Marco has scored a hat trick at football, and I'm milking it as much as I can. Right, that done. Back to the Holy Spirit. So here's a short clip again from the Alpha series about somebody whose life has been strongly changed by the Holy Spirit. And the idea is that the Holy Spirit is given to all Christians. And if you want to, the Holy Spirit can make a great difference in your life too. So I hope you enjoy this pretty powerful story. So all the best and see you next week. God bless.
I grew up in a very rough household. My mom was a very heavy alcoholic, and my father was quite abusive towards her. And then, when I was about 4 years old, my brother and I got taken away from our parents and put into the foster care system. That's kind of how I met God, through one of the foster families. It was very much the first time for me that I was seeing a healthy family and actually felt safe. When I turned 8, we had been running through the foster care system. My parents, 3 days after my birthday, on my birthday, my parents got into this disagreement, and then basically 3 days later, my mom had applied for a divorce because I guess obviously it wasn't ideal for us or her. But then a week later, my father, basically out of anger and wanting to control the situation and control her, actually took her life and then took his own. So that for me was, I guess, as I think people believe that because you're younger, you aren't aware of these situations, and it doesn't you don't accept it in a sense. And just immediately, I think as a young girl, I felt the presence of God say, it's going to be okay. I've got you. And then they sat us down, and I guess my first reaction was just to sit there and just kind of accept it. But then the anger came later, and the hurt and the pain of knowing that my father just chose to end his life, leaving his kids behind. And not only that, but he stole somebody else's life. And so the anger came, but it wasn't towards him, it was towards God. I guess at a young age, you're still trying to come to the realization of who God is, what he does. I was very angry at God specifically because I just couldn't understand why a God who loves us and a God who is so for us would allow something like that to happen. But it wasn't up until someone invited me to church. And I remember going, and I knew that God was there, but it wasn't until that I actually accepted God into my life. And it was more than just a prayer at the end of a service. It's not until you actually have your own encounter with the Holy Spirit that it becomes even more real. So, that's for me. I remember just sitting there and just crying and thinking, all right, there's a reason for my life, there's a reason I'm alive, And so for the rest of my life, every single day, I'm going to allow the Holy Spirit to just move in me and use me. I basically, my whole life have known I wanted to be a songwriter. I was sitting in a youth service and our topic for the semester was never alone. And I sat there and I couldn't get those two words out of my mind. I said to myself, I'm going to write a song about this. For me, it was a personal reminder that I'm okay and I'm not alone, even when it feels like you are. It's a simple message, but it's a very honest one of God is always there when you least expect it, when you feel worthless or shameful. But when the Holy Spirit comes over you, you are strong and you are courageous and you are capable of more than you ever thought. For me, the Holy Spirit is a joy, and it's the backbone of my life, because without the Holy Spirit, I think I'm just me. But with Him, I'm stronger, I'm capable, and I'm not fearful.